there is no position in sport as noble as goaltending. These, the last 5 Vezina Trophy winners. The most recent, Connor Hellebuyck from Commerce, Michigan. The year before that, Andrei Vasilevsky. Bob in 2016-17, that was his second. He's the only active NHLer with 2. 2012-13 was his first. The head of the goal union will go last. Rupper, you go first.
Okay.
Goaltending's so important. And this year in a condensed schedule, the numbers are different. Who's your Vezina winner?
My Vezina winner, and it's kind of a similar explanation as my Norris winner, but I'm going to go with Andrei Vasilevsky. And I'm going to say it from this standpoint where Vasi, I think, is the best goaltender in the world, and he's been for a while. Does that mean, though, that Connor Hellebuyck last year shouldn't have won the Vez? No, that doesn't mean that because he had the best season. But Vasi, I think now it's so close here between these 3 guys because I got Vasi, I've got Marc-Andre Fleury, I've got Varlamov. I mean, I can keep going. Grubauer should be in. I mean, there's a list of people. But it's so close for me. I just think that he's the best goalie in the world, day in, day out, year to year. So I'm going to go with Vasi on this one. And how many of these goalies would have this success, and the teams would have this success the Tampa Bay Lightning have had when you take your best 2 offensive players out of the lineup? You know what I mean?
Valid.
Those numbers are great. Any other team where you take their top 2 offensive threats out of the lineup, that's going to affect the goaltender's numbers. And I don't feel like it's really affected Andrei Vasilevsky's.
You're absolutely right. I echo all of that. Andrei Vasilevsky is the best goalie in the world, best goalie on planet Earth. He is a model goalie that you're looking at when you are evaluating goalies that are currently in the NHL and when you're evaluating those that aren't. Size, strength, incredible power, great agility, great technique, and oh, by the way, competitive nature. I spoke to his goalie coach, Franz Jean, the other day. He was just talking about the fact that he said for as much as we expelled last year as a trio between him, the goalie coach, Vasilevsky, and also, of course, Curtis McElhinney, who's a part of this equation, to win the Stanley Cup, he feels like they're putting in that same work this year in a compressed schedule. And you're seeing the results from Andrei Vasilevsky, the big cat. He's been absolutely incredible. The fact that he's hit the 30-win mark again this quickly, when you saw his record on that graphic, in a 56-game regular season schedule, is absolutely incredible. He's been amazing.
It's amazing when you see anyone else in that Tampa net.
Yeah.
It's a lot different, the
different.
results.
Yeah.
A lot.
The crazy thing about him, too, though, is a lot of times we see goaltenders, right? And goaltenders, you've got to be really flexible. And a lot of times these guys are very lanky, very skinny. They look huge, right, in their goalie equipment. I remember sitting down where you've seen them. I've done a sit-down with Vasi for ice time with the network here, and I mean, you're talking quadzillas. I mean, this guy looks like an NFL tight end. I mean, he's gigantic, and his ability and his athleticism is off the charts. He's a rarity. They not only can't play like him, they don't make him they don't make people and goaltenders physically gifted like him. He's the real deal. But that's not to put a knock to those other guys. Marc-Andre Fleury's been incredible all year. You have Grubauer on there. Varlamov leads the NHL with 6 shutouts. It's going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be a tough vote on this year's Vezina winner.
Totally agree.
And I always go back to the story Weeksy tells about the mental makeup at age 20. In the Stanley Cup final in 2015, he started a game and he came on in relief in a game, and it was no big deal. Not just physically special, but mentally tough, too. Now it's time to shift our focus to the league MVP. Point leaders this season. That's accurate. Plus 17. What in the name of Tiger Woods at the Masters is going on here? That's remarkable. Yes, he'll win the Art Ross. I've already done the engraving. I'm proud of it. I think it came out nicely because the C is small, McDavid. Anyway, but the Hart is a different award. League MVP seems like a no-brainer, but Rupper, who's your winner?
That's a no-brainer for me. It's Connor McDavid.
Okay.
And what he's doing. I don't always just go for the guy who gets the most points, but when you're running away with it the way Connor is and what he's doing on a nightly basis, it's incredible. It's almost gotten to the point where sometimes when you have a player that gets 4 points in a game, that we think of that as being a rarity. Oh my gosh, player X got 4 points this game. We don't even think that. That's the regular now with Connor McDavid.
It's true.
Now when he gets 0 points or 1 point, it's like,
What happened? Yeah, totally.
I mean, what's going on here, you know? And that's kind of the mindset there. So I think this is his. I think Connor McDavid through and through. Enjoy what he's doing. I don't want to hear anybody complain about, well, it's the division. We should take these numbers. These numbers are skewed because the division's weak. Get out of here. He's doing something incredible that we haven't seen since Mario. And then my other two guys on there, Sidney Crosby, you can't look past him. Sidney Crosby's been an absolute beast on both sides of the puck. I think this has been one of his most complete seasons in his career. And you're talking about one of the most decorated players in his generation. And it's been incredible. Brad Marchand, the one thing I'll say about him, I'll kick it over to you, Weeksy. Brad Marchand impacts every game just as much as Sid and Connor McDavid. His impact every single night for the Boston Bruins is something you could sink your teeth into. You can see it. You can feel it. I mean, his energy, his special teams, he's Mr. Everything, and I think that he should get a big nod in this category as well and get some recognition.
Great points. I like all those candidates. I mean, I'm rolling with you and Connor McDavid. You can just see my list in a second, but we're going to go from right to left. Mark Stone, yes, he looks like he's in the movie 300 with that hair right now.
Yeah,
he's amazing. Mark Stone is a complete player for the Vegas Golden Knights. And, of course, the great Austin Matthews up in Toronto, the Arizona native, has been incredible. The best player that I've seen play for the Toronto Maple Leafs in my entire history, really. And then I would say Connor McDavid to the left. You know, you look at the numbers of what Connor McDavid's done. You look at the separation between him and his teammate Leon Draisaitl, who also should be there, by the way, for the Hart Trophy in terms of a finalist. But Connor McDavid is just playing this game. He's got a video game cheat code to play in the NHL. That's what it looks like, and that's how great he is. You know, he's got 15 points in his last combined 5 games, and as you said, this is a season where this current season is comparable to that of Mario Lemieux. Yeah. And the fact that, as I said here on this desk last night, Wayne Gretzky talks about Connor McDavid, 99 talks about 97. There's your answer.
Yes.
There's your answer.
There's your answer.
I mean, that's the ultimate approval.
The other part, too, with this also is this is in this very condensed season, right? So all of these numbers shouldn't be happening for anybody in this condensed season because of this quick turnarounds on game. Playing 16 games in 30 nights, these types of things. And then you talk about that division is the only division in the entire league that's got to travel the time zones. Yep. I mean, they're going from West Coast to East Coast, and that's a real tangible thing. That's a struggle as players. I hate it.
Big time.
And it's such an advantage playing in the East. So he's doing it with a lot of things stacked up against him, and he's been doing it every single game. Connor McDavid, it's a landslide for me. I think he's the MVP for sure.
The last time someone put up the kind of numbers that he's putting up on a points per game basis, 2001, Mario Lemieux. There's no disputing those numbers. I loved everything these guys had to say.